CASA conducts ramp checks to ensure that pilots' safety standards aren't slipping. When they don't have contact with CASA a lot, it's easy to get complacent, so we make sure that the appropriate paperwork's in place. They're continuing to maintain the safety standards that they need for a safe flight, and when it's a commercial operation, we make sure that they're following their own company's procedures applicable to that type of operation. We conduct ramp checks randomly, and it can be on any airport in the country. Generally, it can be anywhere, anytime. We conduct ramp checks usually in a team, generally with a flying operations inspector and an airworthiness inspector. We'll approach the pilot at the completion of the flight and introduce ourselves, explain what the process is, and try and get the person as relaxed as possible and alleviate any fear that he may have. With the flying operations component of the ramp check, we look to see that the flight plan is completed. They've kept a log of the flight, the times and the fuel log. Make sure they had appropriate quantities of fuel for the flight, taking into account any possible weather on the airport on the day. Make sure they've accessed weather and NOTAMs. Make sure their pilot licence is present and they're carrying a medical, which is current. It's surprising how often we find people who didn't realise their medical had expired, and also a photo ID.
As an airworthiness inspector, you certainly want to firstly check the maintenance release, make sure all the maintenance due items are complied with, that no maintenance items have been overflown, and that they are recording the appropriate times into the maintenance release, daily inspections completed, that sort of thing. We do physically check the aircraft after we've checked the maintenance release and some of the documentation. The usual process would be that we'd do a walk around the aircraft. It would be very similar to a daily inspection. We're mainly looking for loose items, things that don't look quite right that we might think may need further inspection, and a general overview of the aircraft.